My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But How to Train Your Dragon is my favorite movie of all time. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is one of the best sequels ever, and How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is the best ending to a franchise ever. This movie is a masterpiece. It is perfect, and I don't think it gets talked about nearly enough. It's also the second most times I've seen a movie in theaters. I saw it 5 times, and I've watched it plenty of times since, and it's just a movie that never fails to take my breath away. It is such a powerful, effective movie. So let's begin talking about the cast and characters. And Jay Baruchel is legitimately Oscar worthy in these movies. Like, he is extraordinary. He carries these movies incredibly well. He has a distinct personality, and he sells you on everything he needs to. And I just love watching him grow and mature throughout these three movies. Like, at the beginning of the first one, he was weak, he was looked down on, and to see where he is at the end of this movie, like, one of, if not the best character arc in any movie franchise. And I truly mean that. And I love how we see him struggle. We see him doubt himself. Like, him and Toothless brought everything together. They changed everything. But is he anything by himself? And I love how he's willing to make the tough decisions, and I also love how deeply he cares about those in his life. And I just think the writing behind this character is top notch. And then we get the character Toothless, who finds love in this movie, and his relationship with the Light Fairy is just so entertaining. I love it when he's on the beach trying to impress her. But we see that he starts forming his own path. He's in the hidden world, and the dragons respect and admire him. He finds love. And in some ways, even though the two are friends, one's an animal, the relationship in this movie specifically reminds me of a parent and a kid. About the parent having to let the kid go on their own path and become their own person. And you really get that from them here. It's just so incredibly well written. But then we get America Ferrera as Astrid, and she's just one of my favorite characters. She has so much personality, she's likable, she is charming, she is funny, she is tough, and I also love how she supports and lifts Hiccup up. Like, the relationship between Hiccup and Astrid is one of my favorite movie romances ever. It's just built on love, support, and trust, and it's just so wonderful. And one thing I love about this movie is how it doesn't try to be unpredictable. In fact, the movie very obviously foreshadows how it's going to end the entire time. And throughout this movie, you're just waiting for the inevitable heartbreak. And how Hiccup and Toothless going their own ways has to be done. Bulk has changed, Hiccup has changed, but the world surrounding them haven't. So they must sacrifice what they have. And the entire last act is just devastating. I love the scene of Hiccup and Astrid in the Hidden World, and they see Toothless and the Light Fury as the king and queen of dragons. And Hiccup has this look on his face. He realizes that this is where he's meant to be, and he can't be a part of his life anymore. And then we get this flashback to Hiccup walking in on his dad crying after Avaka left. And Hiccup asks Stork, "Are you going to find me a new mom?" And Stork's like, "No, your mom was the only woman for me." And he talks about how, yes, it hurts, but that's part of the deal. There's no greater gift than love. And it's just so powerful, the idea that with love comes loss. It's inevitable, and you just know that Hiccup is realizing what he has to do. And I also love how there's a point where Hiccup is willing to sacrifice himself to save Toothless. And that scene where Hiccup and Grimmel are falling and the music sounds operatic, it's just so emotional and epic, and I love it. But Hiccup gets rescued. And now he has to say goodbye to Toothless. And this entire moment, I'm just a weeping mess. Just this goodbye scene, it is so heartbreaking, it is so devastating, and it just shows how much you've come to care for these characters. And it has so much weight behind it, and that final moment where Toothless gives Hiccup a hug, and then Hiccup has his hand on his forehead, and Toothless just moves his head away. So good. But then, immediately after, we see Hiccup and Astrid getting married, and it's just a beautiful moment. They're official. They're husband and wife, and you're just so proud of them, to be honest, and it's just like emotional whiplash. And if that wasn't enough, we then flash forward, I think, like 9 years, and Hiccup has a beard. He looks like a man now, and he's with Astrid and their 2 kids. And you're so proud of him. He's now a father. And then he reunites with Toothless and the Light Fury, and he's so happy to see him. And then the movie ends. And he's riding Toothless with his kids. And it's just emotionally overwhelming. Like in 10 minutes, it is a lot, and it's just all perfect. I couldn't imagine a better ending for this franchise. Like, it is an emotional roller coaster, and it just fully delivers in everything you wanted from this movie. And it's just that last act. It just knocks it out of the park. I also thought F. Maury Abraham did a pretty good job as Grimmel. He's not like the greatest villain ever or anything, but he's definitely menacing enough. I like how smart he is, and I do kind of like what he represents. Like, what if Hiccup did kill Toothless? This is who he could have become. I think Cate Blanchett does a good job, but she's not in this movie as much. Gerard Butler, I like how they use him sparingly here. Very effective. Craig Ferguson is once again just filled with personality. Jonah Hill, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, both do a very good job. Kristen Wiig, I think, is unrecognizable as her character, but she is very funny here. Justin Ruppel, he replaced TJ Miller, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't even recognize it. I thought he did a good job, and Kate Harington, once again, has not as much to do, but he still does a very good job. So the entire cast is a real standout, and the animation in this movie is just incredible. Like, this is one of the best looking movies of all time. Like, the characters and the dragons are brought to life so perfectly. The environments are breathtaking. But that scene in The Hidden World is jaw-droppingly gorgeous. You're just taken back by how beautiful this moment is, and man, it is just a work of art. And Roger Deakins is the visual consultant on these movies, and you can tell, like, the cinematography here is just astoundingly good. There's one scene at the end where they jump off a cliff and the camera follows them, and it's just chills every single time. I also love all the flying scenes. They look amazing. The action is once again very exciting. The movie can be genuinely funny. But just like the other two movies, the music is just outstanding. Like, this is one of the best musical scores in any movie ever. John Powell just delivered time and time again here, and the fact that he never won an Oscar for these movies is a complete joke. A complete joke. Like, Social Network, good music, but really it's not better than How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know what won in 2014, but I promise you How to Train Your Dragon 2 has a better score. And Joker beat this movie for best music? Are you kidding me? Like, this guy does not get the credit he deserves. The music is exciting when needed. It adds emotion when needed. And just some of my favorite tracks are Legend Has It, Exodus, Third Date gets me tapping my feet every single time I hear it, Furies in Love, With Love Comes a Great Waterfall, The Hidden World, As Long as He's Safe, and Once There Were Dragons. These pieces of music are just some of the best ever composed. And there's just moments where the music takes over, and like I said about the other two movies, it's this perfect combination of visual storytelling and music coming together to just form these effective, beautiful moments, and this movie delivers in that as well. That scene of Toothless and the Light Fairy flying together is just incredible. It really is. So yes, I love this movie. I love the story being told. I love the character work. And most importantly, it landed. Every single emotional beat. It is so powerful and it's so heartbreaking. And by the end, you're just left taken back. You know, it looks beautiful, it sounds beautiful, it's a beautiful movie, and I love it. So I'm going to give How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, a 9 out of 10. Okay, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. Have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin,